It is day 2 of Winter Wonderland, and I officially can get back out because I have a lunch that I'm headed to, and unfortunately, it's day 2 of my children being snowed in, and besides like one time in Colorado when I drove maybe further than 10 miles through the snow, I've never driven in these conditions before. I'm hoping the Tesla is up for the task, and this is some exciting, breaking new ground that I've never been a part of. So all you people that live up north and deal with this all the time, let me know down below what you guys do, because I definitely don't want, the snow to keep me from being able to go out and do my job. At least what it seems like today is they have definitely cleared out these main roads. I don't know about the highway yet, so we'll figure that out here in about another half hour or so. But real quick, let's chat about what I've got going on. I am headed to a lunch where I threw on my detective hat the first time around and uncovered that for our product, patients need to get an EKG. And what that means is I have to figure out if when providers are prescribing my product, is that a barrier to them from prescribing the product? And I found out that it's not necessarily a barrier, because they are sending patients, but they're sending patients basically across the street, which is a highway, to a hospital that is a part of their affiliation to go get an EKG, because they don't have an EKG in their system right now at the oncology office. And we have a device that we can provide to help with that. But that's what today's conversation is going to be about. In my mind, though, what I want to do is continue to keep my detective hat on, because I want to now figure out which patients did they decide were the ones that were necessary to go to the hospital so that they can get on my product, and which patients that, again, could be on my product weren't put on it because they didn't deem it necessary for them to go across the street to get an EKG. So these are the things that you're going to run into when you're in the field. And what's exciting about it is the difference between pharma and the device world is you have different kinds of puzzles. For me, I'm uncovering the reasoning why a provider is going to use a certain product and figuring out what's keeping them from taking that product and using it somewhere else. Whereas when you're in device and you're using your detective hat, you're almost trying to flip the surgeon to using your product, which a lot of times is a Me Too product. Me Too meaning some other organization has a very similar product, so why should they switch to yours? In my experience, a lot of times it turned out to be because it was the last person that took them to dinner and they kind of owe that person one. And other times your relationship is strong enough that they're going to continue to use your product. But for me, as you guys are aware, I am brand new in this territory. My relationships are a zero, so I don't have anything going on for me. So I really got to make sure that the detective hat is on, that I'm taking some amazing notes in my little journal and making sure that I pre-call plan every time before I'm actually going to get in front of people that I talk to, because I would rather that mental focus of me standing there waiting to have these discussions to be ready for pivoting, compared to trying to just sit there and regurgitate some of the stuff that I have so that I can have a quick discussion about my product. I don't want to just be a products, features, and benefits person. I want to be the rep that helps orchestrate, just like I did when I was in the OR, but orchestrate everything within that account so that I know who the nurse is that's seeing the patient, who the provider is, how they make those decisions, who the social worker is, the financial planner, all of those things, because everybody in these accounts is a touch point. And if I use my skills to essentially work my way through these accounts and start building those relationships, then it's not just the provider I'm needing to talk to. I'm going to start getting phone calls and text and creating conversations with other people within the office, because just because a provider picks my product and requests or puts a script in for it does not mean that the patient is going to get it. Insurance still needs to get involved, and there's a bunch of other things. So I need to make sure that I'm the conductor within this environment and I'm able to orchestrate like I did in the device world. So we'll see how everything goes. I'll keep you guys updated. Good morning. Are you ready to join me on this fantastic adventure that we call Oncology Pharmaceutical Sales? So as you guys can see outside, pretty gloomy. So fantastic adventure already starting off wonderfully. But I've got an appointment that I'm headed to right now, that I'm heading up lunch with my manager. And after that, got another appointment, and then I'm headed back home. So it should be a pretty quick and straightforward day. But what has not been straightforward so far has been this year. We moved and everything was going great. I was trying to get back into a routine. I had set my intentions for the year. And the statistic I think out there is 80%, if not more, of people that set goals for the new year end up quitting on them pretty early in January after they fail. And I can tell you right now, I am off to a very horrendous start to my goals. But if you are smart, then not to confuse your goals with SMART goals. You guys catch that one? If you're in sales, you know what that is. But not to confuse your goals with SMART goals. If you're smart, then you're not going to just allow basically a few bumps in the road to derail you completely, and basically you just throw in the towel already and say, all right, everything that I decided that I was going to do has gone out the window because it's already fucked up at this point and I can't do anything about it. Like, that's not the way that you should basically go into 2024 thinking. My idea right now is obviously that I wanted to already be on a schedule, be basically just grinding out constantly, pretty much like every day, to start building up as much momentum as I can, because I know the second that my foot falls off the throttle, and that's going to be in late February when we are out of the field for a week, it's going to be that much harder again to kick back everything into hyperdrive and start going all over again. So even though I've had a terrible start, and I say terrible because it's just not ideal to what I would have wanted out of myself. And it's not my fault. It is the weather. I get out of training, I get my intention set, and then literally for 2 weeks, we get a lot of snow in this area, and it becomes snow days. We can't leave because the roads are too icy, so not drivable conditions, and the kids are home. So I don't know about you guys, but if you guys know anything about sales and doing a phone blocking session, phone blocking meaning you were picking up the phone, you were calling accounts, and for me, it's people I don't know. So this is all first impressions at this point. And you've got basically Bluey in the background, 2 kids screaming, and you're trying to build new connections. It just, was a very difficult time to build any kind of routine, any kind of momentum. And my workouts were trash, but there was a silver lining to all of it, because I did find out that if you have an HSA account, saunas infrared are now a item that you can expense, in the sense of, I say expense, but you're not really expensing it because it's your money that you're putting into an HSA account. The thing about it is it's just not taxed. So for every $100 that you put in, really it's only about $70 in the grand scheme of things. And so I found a infrared sauna that was on sale, and I went ahead and purchased it because I wanted this year, again, to be the year of intentions, and I feel like having 2 walking petri dishes that are my children going to schools, bringing home all these germs. I felt like last year I was getting sick every 2 to 3 weeks, some kind of cold. So my plan is to basically jump in the sauna on a daily basis, hopefully, and increase my internal body temperature to what it feels like when you have a fever, so that you're constantly killing the bacteria and the germs that are in your body, and hopefully I get less sick. But at the same time, it's great for your cardiovascular health. It vasodilates your system, your heart begins to pump a little bit harder, and it is a mini workout in and of itself. And I'm going to basically incorporate that into my lifestyle. And this morning I did it. I was able to wake up at 4:44, get my ass into my home gym, go work out in the freezing cold because it's in the garage right now. Today was leg day. It sucked, but I was able to get it all taken care of and still have time to jump into the sauna before the kids woke up. And that's been my intention since the new year. So it's what? Today is the 23rd. So it's January 23rd, and I'm finally 3 days into a routine again. But I'm not calling it a total loss. I am calling it a slight win because I'm not giving up on the intentions that I have set. And I am still out and about regardless whether I was going to have a lunch with my manager or not. I set these appointments, and I was already able to set some more appointments for next week too. I've got a breakfast and a lunch. Those were impromptu. They were not from our RX Vantage system. Again, for the guys that are new here, RX Vantage being a system that a lot of offices use for you to basically go in and schedule your breakfast, lunch, or snack. And a lot of times, oncology offices, they only allow maybe once a quarter, once every half a year, once every year, and there's even an office here that does once every 2 years. So I have to figure out ways to get in, and sure enough, that's what I did. So I've got a couple of appointments next week. I've got my clinical educator joining me for one of the breakfasts that I'm going to be doing, and that's exciting. I mean, I'm coming in and making impact. That's been the goal. And I've also had several conversations with you guys that have scheduled some consultation calls, and those have been fun. Everybody is kind of on the new year high. Everybody wants to make some changes. They're curious as to what path that they should take, whether they should do device or pharma. And I hope that this information that I offer you guys helps you with that decision. But at the same time, if you want information faster, feel free to schedule something with me. But I am going to enjoy my wonderful coffee because I haven't had anything yet, and just live off of the dopamine high of the sauna and the workout while enjoying this drive. And I will catch you guys in a little bit when I'm off to walk into an account. Okay, so I'm still learning the intricacies of obviously driving a Tesla. The biggest thing that I've learned so far is the charging is definitely something that you're going to have to get used to. I try to make it a part of just the day-to-day routine, in the sense of just finding ways to need to go somewhere that has a supercharger so that I can make sure that the car is getting some form of charging. Lucky for me, there's a supercharger right down the road from the appointment that I have. So I'm going to go ahead and park here for a few minutes and start getting some charge. But it's not my time to just hang out and do nothing. That's when I bring out my handy dandy notebook that I've had from my phone calls, and I'm going to grab my tablet and start making some more calls to see how many more appointments I can make while I have this downtime. Because why not? Maybe it's time I invest into one of those little desk setups that some cars have, because I feel like the Tesla piece and the pharmaceutical side of things do have you in your car a lot more than in the device world. and I could benefit from just having a little bit more of an organized workspace inside of the car compared to what I'm currently doing. Okay, we are here at round 2. I didn't record the first one because it was pouring rain, so I just wanted to get out of the car and get going. Second one before I have to head over to my lunch, but as you guys can see, rain, sleet, shine, snow. We still got to get out here and spread the good word of what our product can do to help save lives and let these women live longer and live better. All right, a quick recap before I get out of here. That went awesome. I went to the wrong floor the first time, and I was in women's health, and they were super kind to me. So, you know, never be afraid to just ask some questions. Take that for what it is. And then I actually got to the right floor, walked in, and had to wait a little bit. There were some patients waiting in line, so I went ahead and sat down. Didn't want to make anybody feel rushed, and when it was finally my turn, let them know how new I was to the area and everything. And one of the nurses actually had a moment, because she heard me talking, to just chat with me for a second. So that went really well. I found out that this office is not on RxVantage, and they are a paper calendar that has been completely shut down, and they are about to reopen. So I'm going to now immediately, or I guess not immediately, I'm going to do it after my lunch because I need to head there now. I'm running a little bit late, but I need to head there, and immediately after that I'm going to email the office manager that's in charge of scheduling those breakfast, lunches, and snacks, and get on that calendar as soon as I can, and then I'll let the region know. All right, so I'm finally headed home, and I was thinking about how I missed a couple of the stops that I wanted to do, and by saying that, I missed recording them. Not doing them, but recording them. And as I'm thinking about this, I missed recording them on 2 bases. One, for you guys. I mean, when you think about this, my life is not just holding a camera and showing you guys every day what it is that I do. It's more of showing you a glimpse of what this day in the life is like, so that you as an individual can make a better, more informed decision than I did when it comes to picking a career in your future, or a shift in careers because you're currently already working and looking to do something else. So for one, the videos that I'm posting are mainly informative, so that you can make a more informed decision. But as for the other recording, typically there's a CRM that you record your pieces in. And because I was kind of far away from home today and wanting to try to get back at a decent hour, I was just making sure to get to my stops, write my notes down in my handy little notebook that you guys have seen, and then go on from there. Something that I need to change is I need to slow it down a little bit. I need to get back into the car and transition those written notes that I took to my CRM. That is something that I've struggled with my entire sales career. And it's not because I don't want to do things in the CRM, and it's not because I know what the CRM is for. The CRM, more cases than not, is really just for the organization to have an understanding of what's going on, so that the day that I leave, get fired, or get a promotion and it gets backfilled, there's data in there already that the next rep can use. And I definitely see the understanding in that, because I can look back at some of the notes as well. And what's nice about it is I can look back and see what other reps that are in different divisions have done at that office, and at the same time, what my counterpart, which is my mirrored partner that calls on the same customers that I do, I can see what all different rep-triggered emails she has sent to those providers as well. And it helps, because then it means I'm not doubling up on the same rep-triggered email. So you're really working smarter, not harder, and that's something that I need to get better at. I want to let you guys know about that, because that was just my thought process. as I was headed home. I thought about, okay, well, let me do a quick recap, and then realized that that quick recap is a recap of something that I haven't even recapped yet because I haven't sat down to update my CRM. So when I get home today, it's family time because I'm already going to get home after 5, but I need to make a mental note to myself that as soon as I put the kids down and I'm about to get into bed, I need to go ahead and grab my tablet so I can update those notes, because not that it's crucial, it's just a habit that I need to get into. And one of the things that I had like a problem with the last time around when I was working with the same CRM was you needed to sync your CRM yourself so that all of the activity that you had done would then be visible by upper management. And I would always forget to sync. So I'd end up at the end of the week looking and realizing, oh crap, one, I haven't synced my CRM. And then two, I haven't even updated it. And now I'm scrambling to look through all my papers. And something that they just recently did, and when I say recently, I'm talking like literally, it was just last week, they finally came out with an update within the CRM system, and they will automatically sync for you. So now it's kind of like a fire under my ass to make sure that I'm actually filling that stuff out, because before you could kind of get away with not doing it until the last minute and management wouldn't know. Now this thing is continuously updating in the background, and that is a direct feed to the activity that I am doing. So as I talk about this, I'm starting to think, damn, that is like big brother, big sister over my shoulder looking at what I do. But you got to remember, this is not an entry-level sales role. My manager is not somebody that is sitting there micromanaging my every movement. Trust me, I've been there before. It completely and utterly sucks. I had to get the hell out of there whenever that happened. So more power to you guys that can handle that kind of situation. But that's also why I would never be able to do an inside sales role. I just can't have somebody constantly looking over my shoulder and determining whether me pulling out my phone to send a quick text or something wasn't within a time frame of me taking a break or this. Like, there's just too many things when it comes to working inside sales. Again, more power to you guys, but if you're an inside salesperson trying to figure out if you need to get out of that role, this is your message. You need to get out of that role and get into an outside sales role. Use that experience and transition it into outside sales and come love a whole new world where you don't have the proverbial big brother, big sister looking over your shoulder 24/7. Now they're just looking at it through the data. But just wanted to give you guys that update because I was thinking about the recap, and that's just exactly what ended up happening. And at lunch today, I ended up doing the exact same thing I do every single time, if you guys caught that other video of mine. And I did it at the doctor's office that I was at too. How can I quit just looking at mats on the floor and stuff and looking at the logo? Somebody tell me in the comments if you ever worked at a company and it brainwashed you into looking at certain things and you were able to break that habit, because this is beyond ridiculous. I chuckle to myself every time, but at the same time, I'm dying on the inside.
Okay, check this out. It's like 8 degrees inside this garage right now. It is frigid. But I did something even cooler than just showing you guys my breath. Do you see this? You see that right there? That is an infrared sauna that I'm about to put together because it's going to help me escalate my life to the next level. But if you guys didn't know and you have an HSA account, those things right there, you can get one with your HSA account. It's now approved.
All right, that took about a little over an hour, maybe about an hour and a half, but there we have it. Woo-hoo. It's warming up, baby. Oh, this is gonna be nice. That's gonna be so nice.
Talk about 2024 goals.